Can an electric vehicle that is essentially from 2012 keep up with new modern competitors? I will tell you, the result will be very interesting. Welcome to the Tesla Model S in the updated or facelift version and the Plaid model here, the top sporty version, around 2 seconds in the acceleration figure, over 1000 horsepower. It's basically a hypercar from stock. Like 75 kilometers an hour. Holy. What the? 250 kilometers an hour? Oh my god. Thomas and Autogefühl for you in 4K, full screen, full length. Let's go. Here in the front we can see a new lower part. Everything from one piece also goes through right here. Also a little bit wider to house even wider tires. New headlamps here, LED. The daytime running light stays like this. And the air is being channeled through here and also here, right there. So for even more aerodynamics, it is one of the most aerodynamic cars overall. The length at 4 meters 98 or 196 inches. And interesting that we now have a black styling all over the vehicle. That counts both for the normal Model S with dual motor, around 3 seconds in acceleration figure, and also for the Plaid model with around 2 seconds in the acceleration figure. Rolling start, so a couple of tenths more from standing still start. Yeah, Tesla is always cheating a little bit with the figures, making it even more extreme. Then here you can see here, blacked out frames, the so-called chrome delete, also with the door handles. Here in this case also black wheels, 21 inch, but you could also go for smaller 19 inch wheels for even more comfort. However, for comfort, it's equipped with the air suspension, and that works very well here with the Model S. It's a big difference, for example, to the more, less expensive Model 3, which do not offer air suspension then. Here also, very strong shoulder part. I really liked it, or hip part, you can also say that. And interesting that this Plaid model here comes with 3 electric motors. So 2 at the rear, 1 for each wheel, and that enables even better torque vectoring. If you put even wider tires and also retrofit carbon ceramic brakes, then it is possible to unlock the top speed to 320 kilometers an hour or 200 miles per hour. Where you want to drive that? Even in Germany, come on. Well, but this one doesn't have it. However, it is still extremely quick and fast. And the top speed of the normal version, the normal Plaid version, we will test today on the German Autobahn. Let's see later how fast that goes. In the rear, the typical Model S styling, however, a little bit more refined, and here again with the black accentuations that work very well, I think. And then here you have this Plaid badge of this grid from Spaceballs. I can just recommend watching that movie. One of my favorite of all times indeed. It's really so funny. And the carbon fiber lip, really interesting. And carbon fiber is also a secret to the motors, which are carbon wrapped and therefore can take these extreme revolutions. Very interesting indeed. And news as for towing now, up to 1.6 tons. First time the Model S is also approved for towing. Not as much as the Model X, for example. That one would be at 2.25 tons towing capacity. The battery at 100 kilowatt hours net, however, now with heat pump. That means it will also have decent range in winter times, and a very realistic one indeed, because it's so efficient, is indeed 500 kilometers or 300 miles. Even better if you drive, very, very optimized, and maybe worse when you hammer it through all the way. But 500 kilometers, 300 miles is a very realistic range. And now, as I said, even in winter times, thanks to this new heat pump system. And recharging, about 250 kilowatt DC peak at the supercharger. You open it right here, AC, DC, and you can charge 10 to 80% in less than 30 minutes. Moving towards the interior, you can see here flush door handles for better aerodynamics, but when we open the vehicle, here we go, they come out, and also door closing sound is very solid, although it's a vehicle with frameless doors. That's pretty cool. Soft materials, all animal free, that's so important. Carbon fiber insert. You now open the doors from here with this capacitive field. And this is a nice grey fabric, the Scandinavian furniture design, I would call it. Then Model S entry badge and a completely new yoke steering wheel. That means cut off upper part really straight at the bottom. We'll test today how that one plays out in low and also high speed driving. And these seats here also completely redesigned, new ergonomics and also new surfaces. Now with perforation, it's really soft and plush here also on the seating area. As well, all animal free, so really great quality, and now also combinable once again with seat cooling. This reworked interior is really impressive indeed. How clean it looks, and then 17-inch screen, no horizontal stress. And a very interesting thing is for sure this display tilt. I really prefer to have it like this than here while driving, just more towards me. But you can also put it stationary to the passenger side. That is possible. Maybe not the most used function. You can also get this satellite view, and it's really responsive. They've done a great job with the software, one of the leading systems for sure. And the interesting thing is, for start driving, they want you to do either here P or then here slide forward for the drive mode or slide backward for reverse. To have it here in the screen is somewhat irritating indeed. You get used to it, but there's no stock column for that left anymore. However, it can also be controlled here from this lower area. You can still press these buttons then, for example, for reverse, neutral, or D for the drive mode. I think it's better to still have that. So, and then this area, carbon fiber cover, nice that we don't have high gloss black piano lacquer or something. You slide open, and here in our Tesla Model X test vehicle, it didn't work that well from a build quality, but here you see it's actually fine. Goes forward and then like this, half stop and all the way back again. So, and then this one, cubby hole, slide open, cup holders, also somewhat adaptive. Could be a little bit better from build quality here, and then more space underneath. Really here, this middle armrest, really good from build quality. It has been well attached now, and underneath even more space. Digital instruments, clear to read, clear to see, and when you put it in the drive mode, it looks like this. Digital speed right there, and when you have a GPS route set actually, then it also appears in the left part, but you have to continue. There we go. Very interesting that the turning indicators are now at the steering wheel, here right or left. It is this capacitive thing, however, but you do get some kind of feedback. And you also see that when you use the turning indicators, you also get this kind of blind spot or turning camera here right side and left side as an additional helper in the infotainment system. And the sound system, 22 speakers now upgraded. And interesting is you can actually turn that immersive sound off or then put higher, and that this immersive sound is more like three-dimensional sound, and I really like it. Yeah, it's really cool sound for music lovers. Rear seating area, first of all, nice soft touch materials here also at the back part, carbon fiber insert, so the build quality really has been improved over the years with the Model S. That's good to have like a refined model that is not all new, but refined. Here, take a look at the interior, also the same seating materials, now with these perforated high-grade leatherette seats. Looks cool, feels cool, isofix at the outside parts each. Yeah, it's a long sedan, all EV, but what about the seating comfort and the legroom and so on? Well, as I'm driving here, hardly fits with the legs, so not really using the length of the vehicle. And the comfort of the back seat, well, the seats themselves, they are way better now. However, you see here how much space I have here. It's really not something ideal for tall people in the back. As for the headroom with 1.89 meters or 6'2", it does work because I have space underneath the glass roof. But again, it's not ideal here for tall people when tall people are also driving. Looking through the panoramic roof from here, that is actually quite cool, and also with a new screen. Here, this new screen, look at that here, where you control the vents, looks fancy, and it works actually quite well, no problem. Yeah, that you don't have this manual thing anymore, but that way it's a cleaner solution actually. And then you can also change the temperature right here, and you can also use it for streaming. What about that frunk? Yeah, there is one, and also quite well usable one, maybe for charging cables or for whatever you prefer, but definitely very well usable. Here you have this cover, it's nice microfiber. You can fold this up like this, or you can remove it completely. It's both possible. The width here in the back part is a little bit less than a meter or 40 inches, but barely less. And wider here between the wheel arches. This is a very, very large opening than here for charging cables and everything. And you can see here just luggage here that you can have approximately an understanding of how high it is. And even here underneath the cover, it's no problem. As for the length, we can here unlock the seats all right there, but then we have to push them. It's a 1/3, 2/3 split, and when we have pushed it all the way through, about 1.90 meters or 74 inches, that's of course really massive. And what about the overall height right here? Almost 27 inches, a little bit less, or that's 68 centimeters. Here we are, German motorway, Tesla Model S Plaid, and acceleration from 100 kilometers an hour. Plop to 200 kilometers an hour. Oh, that even created pressure on the inside of the ears. Still alive? Ooh. Oh. Yeah. Talking about G-force, that is definitely G-force. Wow. Yeah, that's even beyond ludicrous. Absolutely crazy and so effortless, and is really planted on the ground. The air suspension gives us comfort. At the same time, it gives us also a sporty feeling of the vehicle. The steering wheel is very direct indeed, kind of crisp. You don't have to do hectic steering, but here you see, so it reacts to fine reactions, so you don't oversteer then on the motorway, otherwise you're going all over the place here. So really be gentle with the steering, and especially if you want to stress out your passengers too much, be also gentle with the throttle. And of course in both ways, because the recuperation is also pretty strong, this typical Tesla one pedal driving. But wow, that acceleration is absolutely nuts. However, when cruising here at about 120 kilometers an hour, like 70 miles an hour, noise cancellation is good. They also use active noise cancellation then here now, and that means we have a very, very nice silent feeling in here. It's not that bad that you have this vacuum feeling in your ears. Oh no, wait a minute, I need to... Holy moly. And we're gone. That GTI was behind us and then it's like disappeared. You see here, even when we are already at speed, like around 30 kilometers an hour, like 80 miles an hour, wow, there's still more push, and that was 200. That is absolutely crazy. I really like the suspension as well. It's not too stiff, not too soft at all. Here now in this transition between the two motorways, wow, it's a lot of fun. And here on the motorway, I'm really enjoying the yoke steering wheel. It feels like in a Formula 1 car. It feels like gaming. So you really have to do reality checks. I mean, with this acceleration, with this steering wheel, it's like, wait a minute, I'm still in reality. I'm not in an arcade game or something. Wow, this is amazing. Wow, great sporty feeling, so much fun, and we are in a large EV sedan. We're carrying so much weight, but due to the low center of gravity, it's no problem at all. And I mean, this acceleration is so fast. You know, I'm like just slightly on the throttle, and it's going forward so effortless, actually. Wow. We can do another acceleration while steering, by the way. Here, that is also very interesting. We can drop down the speed a little bit, because here we have now a good chance, unlimited speed. There's no one behind us, hardly anyone in front of us. Dropping the speed now to like 75 kilometers an hour. Holy, what the 250 kilometers an hour. Oh my god, top speed 266, 267. Holy, what the hell. This, I'm not sure if this should be legal. I mean, it is legal what I just did, but just you have to be very careful, of course, doing this on public roads. And you feel that pressure on your ear? Oh, it's like, is really like when a plane is taking off or plane is landing. Woo. Yeah, I mean, like a slide push is a lot of fun actually. So I would say like midway through, it's still in a way where your body says like, hey, this is fun. But hammering the throttle all the way through, I really have to say, this is one of the very rare vehicles where the acceleration can be beyond fun because it's just too extreme. And let me just try again with that sport mode. So when I drop down a little bit and then let's hammer in the sport mode here. Yeah, that's good actually. So in the sport mode you can hammer it all the way through and it's still fun. So to me it would definitely be chill or sport mode when you are in normal driving situations. And then maybe pled when everything is free, you want to show off once or something, but really extra precaution and then it should actually be better. And build quality wise, they've also stepped up the game. So indeed, where maybe in the past it was like, hey, we have like these super interesting solutions for the software, but in the driving quality, it doesn't keep up with the Germans. Here now in driving, feels good from suspension, is very nice, direct steering and so on. It really also keeps up in these driving hardware aspects with the German competitors. And indeed, efficiency is really, really good now when I have put out these extreme accelerations. So we are at figures below 20 kilowatt hours on 100 kilometers. So at the moment, like for example, 17, and that means like less than 27 kilowatt hours on 100 miles. So this 500 kilometers or 300 miles of real world, realistic range, even in wintertime now, is really, that's for real, you know, because now fitted with the heat pump for X and S, this one then now is, you know, less difference of summer range and winter range. Very good thing to have. So long range or high distance driving is also possible now. And as for assistance systems, I said it here, the autopilot on the steering wheel with a click, and then I can also adjust the speed here with scrolling up. And so far the lane is also being kept in a nice way. I'm supposed to keep my hands on the steering wheel as well. And there's not like a sudden or hectic movement or something like that. Of course, never trust in it 100%. What can be quite challenging here is that the vehicle is suggesting which speed is allowed here at this moment, and then it's always adjusting the speed according to that. But sometimes the speed is changed, and then you set the cruise control, but it's a completely different speed than it's allowed at this moment. So, maybe like a more current traffic sign recognition would help then in this respect for that. And that also, one press on the brake is also cancelling the cruise control, and then you can take everything yourself in your own hands again. A serious competitor? Is there one? Well, maybe the Mercedes EQE as the AMG version, or you might want to tune into another sporty EV, the BMW i4.